I'm Jake, I work at Panelcraft.
I'm Jake and I also work at Panelcraft.
We restore classic cars, mainly Volkswagens.
Some other classic cars.
Mostly just replacing and repairing panels on old cars, do a lot of stripping of cars, fit air ride, engine swaps, anything really that needs doing to the car.
A lot of filler jobs with prime and paint.
Yeah, my favourite car I've restored is a old split screen that used to be an ambulance, which we turned into a show bus.
Mine's probably the 54 oval that we're doing currently.
Obviously obsessed over Volkswagens, obsessed over low, air ride, big wheels, do you know what I mean? Anything cool.
Yeah, all the custom jobs we do, really interesting.
Custom fabric and all that stuff, so yeah.
The show cars mostly, and they look really nice when they're done.
That's what they're built for, it's going to the shows. Yeah, like customers will come in and specifically ask us to build a car for a certain show.
Yeah, some use them daily, but some don't even drive them.
I see myself in 10 years' time, still working at Panelcraft, still in this garage, still building show cars, hopefully still old rusty Volkswagens.
Yeah, probably the same as that, to be honest. Yeah, we do enjoy it. I enjoy my job quite a lot.
Yeah, I'd class my work as obsession, because obviously you go home and you sit there and you think about, oh, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, I'm going to be doing this next week, this car.
Yeah, definitely.
It was my first project, so everyone's always said Japanese cars are reliable, easy to work on, so many aftermarket parts for them, and being the first project I've ever had, I've been able to do all of it myself. Being brought up with cars and working from the age of 16 with a colleague who used to have them, he encouraged me to drive one. After driving one, I sort of fell in love with it. Thought I had to get me one of them. I mean, Japanese cars have always been in my heart. The culture, the way of life, the style, late 90s has always been one of my favourite sort of eras. So having an old classic piece of JDM is awesome. My name is George. I'm 20 years old and I drive my Toyota Glanza.
So the modifications I've done are
turbo change, so TD04 off of a Subaru Forester, probably running about 1 bar of boost. Should be a solid sort of 220 brake after mapping. Live sport spoiler, stripping out the rear, electronic boost controllers, front mount intercoolers, bucket seats, brakes, suspension, you name it, it's been changed. I would say that yes, definitely my hobby, my car is definitely an obsession. If I'm not working on it in the garage, I'm on my phone looking at how to do things or buying more stuff for it, talking to mates about it. I don't shut up, I cram it all down my girlfriend's ears, basically what I want to do to it, and she doesn't care. Yeah, if I'm either not at work, I'm in the garage, I mean I could easily sit and watch TV or play football, for example, but no, every waking second if I'm not at work or busy, it's in the garage working on it, no matter if it's fun or bad, or I've got to fix something that's broken or replace it, or the horrible jobs of cleaning grease or underneath changing clutches. It's never a boring time, it's always interesting. Where do I see myself and the car in 10 years' time? Obviously it's my first project, it's a learning curve. They call it a Lego car because you can do pretty much everything yourself. It's tiny, easy to work on. Obviously I aspire to faster, bigger cars, dream cars, either a Skyline or a Supra. Quite fortunate living at home in my parents' garage, so I don't have to worry about that. Myself in 10 years' time, I've been in the same job since I was 16, so moving on from there, moving out, get my own place, another project, bigger job, bigger goals. So. I mean, it's tough over the winter. I haven't driven it for about 4 or 5 months. When you don't drive something and you sort of lose passion for it. When you get problems, things break, more money. But after you see it from when you started to sort of getting it so close to back on the road, it brings it back. Can't wait to start driving it again. But yeah, no, definitely, if I can go sort of bigger and better, then yeah.
I know it's a tall lineman, and I'm still on the line.
I've been going since I've been 2 with my dad, just watching it. I got involved with just a local sportsman team for a couple of seasons before moving on to a pro class where we toured Europe back in about 2009. And then in 2010 I purchased my own car and been racing ever since. My name's Paul Brown, 2 times national champion for drag racing back in 2012 and 13. There's different types of drag racing. Tends to be the fastest person from a standing start over a quarter mile. First one gets to the finish line wins in the fastest time. The fastest people are doing it in under 4 seconds at over 300 mile an hour these days. We run a 2000 dragster. It's got a big block Chevy motor in the back with a 2-speed power glide. That's an automatic shift as well. So we launch off a button which is high revs, which holds the car in first and reverse, which means we can launch faster and run quicker ETs to get our low 9 seconds, 150 mile an hour runs. This is my 8th season this year. I've done solid seasons through the year. Last couple of years I've been dipping in and out through the thing. Hoping to do a full season this year as long as the car stays together. There's only 5 events this year from a usual 7. We've just finished our first one 2 weeks ago, which was a complete rain out. We're back again at Santa Pod at the end of May, and then we'll have one more in June before going back to Santa Pod in the summer. For us, it's more the obsession would be consistency, because that's what we're after with our cars. We don't run flat out, we run in a bracket class, which we predict our own times. So if I was to run 9 flat over the quarter mile, I'm going to try and run as close as I can to that 9 seconds, because 1/10,000th of a second off is probably only going to be good enough for number 15 at a big meeting of the year. So that's where the obsession is, consistency for us, opposed to everything else. For me, I'm not obsessed with how my car looks. I don't have to keep it tidy because I'm not that bothered by it. At the end of the day, it's going to get whacked with stones and that. It's not a big problem to me if it gets damaged. It doesn't rule my life, it's just a small part of it, having fun in the background.